Hey, what do we have here?
Picasso vase,
A Picasso vase.
painted by himself.
This looks like one of his owl vases. He was making them in the 40s and 50s in France. I'm telling you, just the design of it is a hoot.
I'm at the pawn shop today to try to sell my Picasso Owl Vase. This Picasso piece is very unique because there were only 500 made. And I'm sure most of them now are in museums or in private collections. I've enjoyed this vase for over 35 years. My wife and I, we're downsizing now, and this is part of the downsizing. I'm hoping to get $35,000 for this Picasso Owl piece.
It's really cool. Yeah, Picasso, I mean, like, he's one of the most famous artists in the world. Early 1900s, he's in Paris, he's in Barcelona. He gets a reputation for himself as a modern artist. He comes up with Cubism and all these other things. After World War II, I mean, he was known throughout the world. And I do know a little bit of the story with this. In the 1940s, Picasso started getting interested in ceramics. And him and some other people came up with the idea, let's make Picassos for the masses. So they started coming up with ceramic ideas, and this owl was one of them. And it's sort of weird, because they are limited edition of 500, but I know there's over at least 100 different owls, and each one of those is 500. They sold tons and tons of them, and no one expected them to be worth a whole lot of money. I know they're worth a whole lot of money now. I know they're marked on the bottom. And that's about all I know, is that they're marked on the bottom. I don't know what all this stuff means on the bottom. And I know these are faked. The big question, how much you want for it?
I'll take $35,000.
Okay. I am definitely not an expert in Picasso ceramics. So
Okay.
if you can hang out a little bit,
Sure.
let me go grab my art guy. I'll get him down here. He'll take a look at it, and we'll go from there.
Great.
I'll be right back.
Okay.
I'm sure on some days that owl is wiser than some of my employees. Hey, Chad.
Hey, Rick, how are you today?
Doing great. Here's what I called you about.
That is a Pablo Picasso. I've recognized that a mile away.
So like I told you on the phone, what I do know is that they were never supposed to be expensive. Now they're expensive, and I know people fake them.
Right. They're also incredibly hot on the market right now. The reason the auction houses like them is there's a lot of them, and that particular one I know for a fact he made 500 of. So it's not hard for them to get the supply. So if I put this to auction, my odds of selling it, it's about 90%. So they're very, very desirable.
So my big question is it real?
Let me put my gloves on and take a look at it. From here, it looks right. So if you don't mind, I'm gonna reach into there and grab her from you. First thing we're gonna do is flip it over, and we're gonna look at the stamps. So it's got the edition Picasso, and very importantly, the lettering and everything is perfect on it. Another thing I look at is it's semi-glazed. Here is very shiny, here is not very shiny. That's good. All the stamps are there, the markings are right, but the thing that's most surprising is the condition. It's fantastic, it's pristine.
So if I buy this off this guy, what can I sell it for?
Here's the weird thing about the ceramics. This one sells for up to 61 grand on the retail market. That's not a realistic price, but it's the people list it, then they negotiate down. I think you could safely figure you're gonna get it right around 25,000 for it.
Okay, so I could retail this for 20 to 25,000.
That's my guess, yeah.
All right, thanks, Chad. Appreciate it.
All right, you guys take it easy, bye-bye.
Okay, Chad says it's real. And what he said about going online and looking at prices is true with everything. People
Of course,
can
yeah.
ask all day long. It's what they get in the end that's important. I get 15 grand for it.
No, it's not gonna make it.
I got salesmen at commissions, and I mean,
How about 19?
I go 16,000.
How about 19?
I'll give you 17,000.
Okay, I'll take it.
All right, great. I'll meet you right around the corner. I'll do some paperwork, and I'll get you paid.
Okay.
That's a hoot. I own a Picasso.
Rick asked me to swing by Brett's shop and have a picture framed while I was out and about. I hate being away from my stocks this long, but I gotta keep the boss happy so I can keep collecting my paycheck.
Look what the cat dragged in. How you
Hey,
doing, Chum? Good
what's
to see you.
happening?
It's
How
been
you
a
doing?
while. How are you?
I'm pretty good. I came to get this picture framed for Rick.
Kat's the framing queen. She'll take a look at that. Before you get started with Kat, though, I want to show you this new piece we're bringing in for the gallery.
Okay, what do you got?
This is a Picasso. Miriam is representing this piece.
Sweet.
It's called La Crâne de Chèvre sur la table. It means goat skull on table.
It is a pretty nice piece.
It's for sale.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. My friend purchased this piece 35 years ago from a gallery. It is the 4th print out of 150. Then it was appraised at $19,500, so I think $16,000 is a good price.
This is pretty cool. So what period of Picasso is this from?
Around 1953, so he was 71 years old.
It's about the right time in his life to paint the goat skull on the table.
Yeah, exactly. The printing technique, correct me if I'm wrong, this was aquatint,
Correct.
Which is basically an etching technique where it really gives it the look of an original watercolor. You get a lot of the color, you get a lot of the texture that you wouldn't get otherwise in a flat print. Picasso is probably the world's most recognized fine artist, certainly the most important artist of the 20th century, famous for pioneering Cubism and abstract expressionism. He was a genius. It's in great shape, no tears, no blemishes.
Cool. So you don't mind if I try to buy this thing?
Not at all.
Okay, well, I'd have to resell it if I bought it, but I'd be interested in making an offer.
All right, what we're looking at.
You know, I'm gonna have to call the big boss.
Okay, by all means.
All right. Yo, what's happening, dude?
What's up?
I'm just fixing to buy this Picasso right here. Hello?
What?
I'm about to buy this Picasso. I just wanted to call you and let you know.
What are you doing me buying a Picasso?
No, really, it's cool. Look. It's a,
No, it's not cool.
it's a Picasso. Look.
You don't know anything about Picasso. I thought you were just supposed to go over to Brett's and get something framed.
Hold on. Talk to Rick for me.
Rick, hey, it's Brett. This is a Picasso we were going to bring in to put in the new gallery.
Okay, how much you want for it?
Well, it appraised for $19,500. We're looking to get about 16 out of it.
Really?
Yep.
Let me talk to Chum real quick.
Okay.
Sure. Chum?
All right, Chum, go somewhere where I can talk to you privately, all right?
Rick wouldn't want to talk in private if he wasn't going to give me a shot at buying this thing. Now, I just hope he doesn't want me to offer some crazy low price.
Don't pay more than $11,000 for it, period.
All right, I got...
That's a good deal. Don't screw this up. Pay $11,000 for it and bring it to the pawn shop. Not a penny more, all right?
All right, no problem. I gotta go, bye.
Later, Chum.
Art tends to appraise for way higher than the actual selling price because other than previous sales, it's all a bit subjective. Rick shouldn't worry, though. I've got this. How about 9,000?
Sorry. It's a Picasso. How about 14,500?
That's still just too high for me. I mean, I could bump it up a little, maybe 10,500.
10,500? Wow. What about 12?
I mean, 10,500 is what I'm gonna offer. I'm firm there.
Okay. Can you come up to 11?
My boss might get mad. It is a Picasso. Then I'll do 11,000.
All right.
You got a deal? You gotta bring it on down to the pawn shop, though.
Wonderful. We'll bring it down. Getting $11,000 doesn't look very good, having, appraised it for $19,500, but we sold it, and I think $11,000 will be fine with her.
Adam, what's up?
How you doing?
I'm doing good, man.
So I brought you today not one, but 6 original Picassos.
Originals. Drawn by him, painted by him.
Well, etchings in a book, but
Okay.
still original etchings. It was put out by a company called the Limited Editions Club.
I'm assuming, since it's from the limited edition company, it's a limited edition.
It is. It is. I came into the shop today to sell a book illustrated by Picasso. There are a lot of people that would be interested in buying this. Picasso is the greatest artist of the 20th century. I'm asking $5,000 for the book. This is actually one of the most famous illustrated books in America of the 20th century. The Limited Editions Club tried to marry famous works of literature with famous artists. And they had Picasso illustrate in this book the ancient Greek comedy of Lysistrata by Aristophanes, which is a fabulous play. Lysistrata was to do with the ancient wars between Athens and Sparta, and they had these interminable wars which were completely destroying the ancient world. So Lysistrata decided to get together the ancient women of Greece and withhold sexual privileges from the men as an attempt to get them to end this awful war.
Okay, different. So where'd you get it?
As usual, I'm running around estate to estate looking for treasures, so this was one of them.
Pretty cool. And when was this published?
In 1934.
Even up until that time period, people always wanted etchings because technically they are done in the artist's hand because it's a copper plate that's covered in wax and he draws everything with a pen.
Exactly.
And then they pour acid on it and it etches it out, and that's what they use for the printing plate. These are not the etchings here. These are just printed in the book. Were these released anywhere else?
No, this was special just for this book of Lysistrata. And his signature is actually at the back. This is the limitation for the book, they call it, showing it's one of 1,500 copies. And then he signed powerfully in this case.
Pablo Picasso is widely known as being one of the greatest painters of the 20th century. Everyone knows his name. Weird thing here is we have a book and we have art. What's worth more money? How much you want for it?
Well, what does a Picasso get today, 100 million apiece?
No. Not all Picassos go for a lot of money. There's one that goes for like 50 bucks. And...
$50.
Well, that was the etching Poor Roby. He had a friend named Roby that was always poor, and he basically told him, here, just take the copper plate, you know, and whenever you need some money, go down the street and print up a bunch of money. There's tens of thousands of Poor Robys out there.
Well, I'm looking for something like $5 grand for the book.
Do you mind if I have my art guy look at it?
Yeah, I know, of course.
Give me a few minutes. I will get him down here.
Perfect. Thanks so much. I'm excited about having an expert come in because I'm sure he's going to understand and explain how important this book is in the history of art.
Picasso.
Picasso Lysistrata. Yeah, this is an art dealer special. This is considered one of his best illustrated works in the classical style. There's 6 etchings. The etchings are considered original. The other thing that's exciting about this book is Picasso only did one American printing of etchings ever. Other artists tended to depict a lot of the war in it. Picasso, straight up the love. The interactions between the men and the women were the basis for all of the illustrations. The condition of the etchings seemed to be near pristine. If it was me, I cut the pages out. The book goes bye-bye.
Okay.
In my business, all of the value of this book is in these etchings. The drawing's worth a little bit, the Picasso signature is worth a little bit, but the actual etchings is the art.
So what are the etchings worth?
Retail, $1,500, $2 grand, depending on the gallery.
Each one of them?
Each one of them. The signature here, you know, $500.
So anywhere from $9,500 to $12,500.
I think that's about right.
Okay. All right, thanks, man.
Appreciate having you in. Ben, thanks for showing it to me. It's nice. If Rick is able to get this book at a great price, I think he should keep it in book form. If he pays any amount of money over $5,000 for it, he'll absolutely have to cut it up in order to get his money out of it.
Like always, I'm going to call Rebecca. Let me have her take a look at this. I just want to know if there's more money cutting it apart or keeping it as a book.
Okay, great. I'm really excited that Rick's calling in Rebecca to look at it. She's got to be familiar with this book. It's such a famous work. And I know she's not going to want to rip this book to shreds. I brought you a book I'm sure you're going to know.
I know and love this book. I mean, this is part of a larger 20th century trend, which is really important in books. It's the whole livre d'artiste, which is artist books, right? The first was Manet does The Raven in the late 19th century. And then you get this entire trend where great artists are turning to literature. And this confluence is it's a beautiful thing.
So what do you think of it?
Let me take a quick look at it. All right, limitation page. The glassine is intact. That's this here, very fragile. So chemise and slipcase seem to be relatively intact.
As far as condition goes, this is a beautiful copy.
It's what I would expect, actually, because this was a deluxe production.
The outside materials have a little bit more wear because the outside is the first part to receive damage, and that's why it's there in the first place.
So, you have an art guy.
Well, he told me how much it would be worth if I cut it into pieces.
I had to cringe, too.
Sometimes the pieces are worth more than the whole.
From the book perspective, that's heresy. And you kind of fall in between.
I fall where the money's at.
I was just gonna say, what do I have to do to convince you not to break it?
Well, what's it worth?
Well, before I get into that, Rick, you love history, right?
Yes.
If you take these etchings out of this book, you are destroying a historical artifact. This book by itself, in this condition, I wouldn't hesitate to put it 10,000.
Okay.
So that's right around the mark of what the art guy said.
Is it now?
Yeah.
Yes.
If there's no real difference in price, why destroy history? Why?
I'll let you know what happens. I will let you know what
This
happens.
will be
all right?
maybe the last handshake.
See you soon.
Bye. This is a great buy for Rick. He should do it, but if I come in and I see that he has cut these up, I am coming for him.
So, $5,000, we got a deal.
You heard Rebecca, she said 10 grand. Oh, what about bumping it up a little bit?
Bumping it up to what?
6 grand, that's a fair number. It's a beautiful book. It's Picasso, one of the great artists of the 20th century. It's gonna be out of here in the blink of an eye as a book.
You know what? It's a fair price. It really is. Here we go. We got a deal.
And I'll shake your hand.
You know the procedure. We'll go do some paperwork.
I'm settling on $6,000. That's $1,000 more than I even thought I could get out of the book, so I'm taking it and running.
How you doing?
Pretty good. What do we? Obviously, this is a Picasso, huh?
It is, yes, it is. It's a Picasso La Celestine.
What? La
Celestine.
La Celestine.
La Celestine.
You know, if you say those things, you gotta say them slow, because I'm slow.
Everybody knows who Picasso is. La Celestine was in a collection of works in 1968. I believe there were 66 pieces. This is one of those pieces. The piece was purchased on a cruise line in a Park West gallery. Unfortunately, I do not have any paperwork that comes along with it. Family seemed to misplace it.
Yeah, it's a Picasso. God, he did some creepy stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, the guy was just bizarro. He really, really was. You know, he actually tried to start off doing like traditional art.
Yeah.
And everyone told him he sucked. Okay, and then he sort of came up with his own style. No one had really been doing that before. God, he made tons of money, but I know he blew most of his money. He was a lush, and he lived into his 90s. He had like a gazillion wives. He did have to make a lot of art to pay for all that.
Yeah.
There's great stories about him, too. There's stories about him how he would go into a bar, drink all day long, and then say, you got a piece of paper? He'd draw a little something on it, sign his name at the bottom, and say, here's my bar bill.
Oh, you're kidding me. Wow.
No, but they didn't have a problem doing it because it was still a hand-drawn original from Picasso. I mean,
Right.
It wasn't a masterpiece or anything like that.
Right.
But they still could get a few $100 for it back in the 50s.
Right.
Picasso is one of the most famous artists ever to live. He dabbled in a lot of different styles and is responsible for creating some of them. And because of that, some of his works can be worth a literal fortune. So you want to sell it?
Yes, yes, I do.
How much you want for it?
Well, it was purchased for $9. So the 6,000?
His stuff is so all over the place. I really don't get it because you will take one Picasso etching right here and one right here, and one is worth 10 times as much as the other, and I have no idea why. And to me, it looks legit, but there's a chance that it could be fake. And
Right.
are you busy right now?
Actually, no.
Okay, do you mind if we bring it up to my buddy's art gallery? He'll take a look at it, he'll give us a price, then I can figure out what I can pay you.
Yeah, not at all.
Give me a second so I can grab my keys. You can follow me up to the form shop.
Sounds good. All right. We're gonna head over to the appraiser, and I'm really looking forward to making some money today.
Moving up in the world. This place is nice. Hey, Brett.
Sorry, guys. Hold on a second. Art Encounter. Oh, hey, Jason. How are you? I'm president of Art Encounter. I appraise all manner of fine art. We also have a retail gallery where we sell anything from contemporary artists to old masters. Well, tell me a little bit about it. This is your piece, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was purchased from a cruise line. It's Picasso La Celestine.
Yeah, all the prints that were done for that book were part of Picasso's 347 series. A lot of times what he would do in these pieces is he would put himself in a scene. He'd be, you know, this fancy-dressed musketeer character observing what was happening. And a lot of the historians at the time were saying, well, it was him kind of looking back on his career and his life. And it's a nice piece, absolutely. Now, Rick, I know you wouldn't be down here if this was a slam dunk, so.
Okay, first off, is it real? He's got no paperwork with it.
No paperwork, okay.
And the other thing is, if it's real, what's it worth?
Okay, gotcha. Let me take a closer look at it here real quick. Now, what I'm looking for is the plate marks. You would have the same plate marks you'd see on like an etching or an engraving.
Right.
You can see the plate marks right where the image is. So you can see the indentations there that the copper plate would have made into the paper as it drove into the support. So
that's good.
So that's good. So it's definitely an engraving. I've seen this particular image before, and this looks spot on. So based on the particulars of the piece and from what I've read on the history and how the cruise lines got the particulars of this work, I think it's a legitimate piece.
That's good.
Okay.
So.
All right, now the big question. Is it worth $5, $5,000? Because it's a Picasso.
I know one thing that this doesn't have would be a signature.
Right.
I know that Picasso did sign a lot of these etchings from the 347 series. Plus, it's a late period etching. So from a value standpoint in a gallery setting for this piece, you're looking somewhere in the $2,000 to $3,000 range.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I think his family paid $9,000.
Oh, yeah. $9,000. When was this?
2006.
Okay, yeah, the height of the boom. That's when art was just selling like hotcakes.
I hate to break it to you. I mean, I'm a buyer at $1,500, and that's like max.
Okay, would you possibly do 3?
No, because I would lose money at that.
God, man.
I mean, if I can sell it for $2,000 to $3,000 in my store,
Right.
all I'm going to pay you is $1,500.
Right, right. Okay, 1,500.
Okay, cool, man.
All right.
Grab it, bring it back to the shop. We'll do a little paperwork, and I'll pay you.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay. Thanks, Brett.
Cool, Rick.
Thanks,
Hey,
Brett.
good to see you. Always a pleasure.
Good to see you.
All right,
Yeah.
nice to see
Right
you.
on. I felt that it was worth letting go for 1,500. I could have hung on to it for a few more years, but quite honestly, in my opinion, I don't really think it's gonna get any better economy-wise within the next maybe 5. Hopefully I'm wrong.
Hi. Hey, I wanted to see if I can sell these Picassos.
Okay.
I'm gonna go look around.
So where did you get these?
They belong to my mom. I'm selling them for her.
It's like something Chum could have drawn.
Yeah, probably could have, but he's not Picasso. Picasso drew it first, and that's why it's worth money.
Picasso's not the first guy to draw a dove.
I come into the pawn shop today to try to sell my 2 Picasso etches. I think they're in pretty good condition. My mother thinks they're worth $1,000. So I don't want to disappoint her, so I'm hoping to get $1,000.
So how did your mom get these?
She was an interior designer, and in the early 70s, an art dealer came to her design firm and sold them to her.
Okay.
I've had them in my house like my whole life, and as a child, I always would look at these 2 pictures and wonder who the heck Picasso's, and I've kind of liked doves ever since I've looked at that.
This one right here is called Poor Roby. There's a lot of these out there. Some are worth more than others. I don't know exactly what the difference is, but they're pretty common. Even if you don't know anything about art, you've probably heard of Pablo Picasso. He's one of the most famous artists of all time. One of his paintings recently sold for over $100 million. So do you know anything about the picture of the dove?
I don't know anything about these. I grew up kind of hoping that I'd be able to draw better than that.
Not that hard.
I don't got that much love for Picasso, but it just...
Yeah, but it was still Picasso. Picasso made over 50,000 different pieces during his lifetime. Some of them are incredibly valuable. So before I lay out any cash, I'm gonna get these things checked out. I want someone to come down and look at the Poor Roby.
Okay.
Because I just don't know how to tell the difference between the cheap ones and the expensive ones. And while he's down here, he can tell us about the picture of the dove. Just hang out, I'll get him down here.
All right. I'm really excited about an expert coming in. I'm excited to know what these pieces are worth.
I'm a fine art appraiser with Art Encounter here in Las Vegas, and I specialize in the appraisal of fine art paintings, all manner of 2-dimensional works, oils, acrylics, and watercolors.
Well, this is what I called you about.
I know the poor Roby, some of them are worth like $100, some of them are worth like $800-900.
Right.
I can tell that it's a real etching and everything. I just don't know the difference why some are worth more than others.
Okay.
And this one, I'm not sure.
Picasso was an expert in all media. He did everything from lino cuts to lithographs to etchings. So it's really nice to be able to see one of his works up close. This piece looks like just an open edition lithograph called Blue Dove of Peace. It's a mass-produced piece, so maybe $100, $200.
Okay.
Now, this one was done circa 1950, and it was done in honor of a friend of his, Robert Godet. As Rick said, is called Poor Roby. Picasso gave up rights to the plate. So what Mr. Godet would do is if he got in financial trouble, he would actually produce a few prints, sell them. If he got in more trouble, he'd produce a few more and sell them. Of the 2,000 graphic works Picasso has done, this may very well be the most mass-produced. The good news is, though, if it was one of the ones done during Picasso's lifetime and on a particular stock of paper, it'll have a lot more value. So what I'd like to do is take a closer look at it, if I may.
Okay, sure.
Okay, great. It's on a real heavy stock paper, an Arches paper, which is indicative of one of the early pressings. Later on, he did it on a much cheaper paper. So the fact that this is an early edition is a very good sign. I've seen comparables of this etching out anywhere between a couple $100 all the way up to about $1,500. But in looking at this piece, I think this would be towards the upper end of that spectrum. In a gallery setting, you'd be looking $800 to $1,500.
Oh, good.
Thanks, Brett.
Hey,
I
Rick,
appreciate it.
always
man.
a pleasure. Thanks, Corey. Good to see you.
So after hearing all that, what do you want for him?
I'm looking to get 1,000.
1,000 I couldn't do. This one I wouldn't want. It's just too common. And this one right here, I would give you $600 for it.
What about 9?
I don't get gallery prices.
It's a Picasso, so someone's gonna buy it.
It's the most common one on the planet, though.
What about like 750?
I go 6.
650?
Yeah, I go 650. All right.
Thank you.
You want to write her up, son?
Yeah, let's go do some paperwork.
I know that it was worth more than what they offered me, but I settled on 650, and I think that my mom will be happy with that price.